Just going to wait a few more minutes to see if anybody else is joining us. We have a lot of people here joining us today. This is great. Thank you everyone for being with us. Oh, I'm accidentally advancing slides.
Pillars.
Okay, should we get started? Tayshoff Center team, what do you think? Wait another minute or start? Get going?
Get going.
Start. Okay, we got some starts and get going. Okay, let's do it. You snooze, you lose, right? If you were not here, we'll just get going and people can catch up. So, welcome to our InclusiveU info session. My name is Beth Myers, and I am the Executive Director of the Tayshoff Center. We have on this call several staff from InclusiveU. So I'm going to let a couple of people just unmute to introduce themselves. Bud, do you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Bud Buckout, and I'm the director. Nice to see everybody.
Bree, how about you?
Hi, I'm Brianna Schultz. I'm the Internship and Employment Coordinator.
Sam?
Sam Rue. I'm the Student Support Coordinator. I work really closely with the students who are living in on-campus housing.
And Carly?
Hi, I'm Carly Gorfassi. I am the Communications Director for the Tayshoff Center and InclusiveU.
Great. Thank you so much. I think I got all of our staff who are on the Zoom right now. So thank you so much for joining us. I am really glad that you were all able to be here today. It's kind of nice to have it on Zoom so more people from further away can join us, but we also miss seeing you in person. But we're glad that you can be here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about our InclusiveU program and Tayshoff Center and Syracuse University and try to answer some questions. I know that some of you have come to some of our in-person info sessions and some of you haven't. And some of you, I think, maybe even came to our info session that we had in New York City. So hopefully you'll get some information here today that might be new and exciting for you, or maybe some of this you've already heard, but feel free to stop and ask questions or talk to us about anything, and we'll have some time for questions at the end too. So our InclusiveU program is part of one of the centers at Syracuse University called the Tayshoff Center. And the Tayshoff Center is a center, one of the disability centers here at the university that is committed to increasing opportunities in higher education for students with intellectual disability. And we do research, we are leaders in inclusive higher ed, and we also run conferences. We go out and do presentations. We work with other universities to help them increase their opportunities at their colleges and universities for students. And so we've been a model program to help everybody learn more about how to increase opportunities for students. But we have our own program here called InclusiveU. And so that's really what we're here to talk to you about today. So what is InclusiveU? First thing we're going to do is we are going to show you an overview video so that you get to see some information about what InclusiveU is.
I think the best thing about InclusiveU being here at Syracuse University is the opportunity that it gives our students to be integrated with the university as a whole.
Students who are coming through InclusiveU really are coming through university college as non-matriculated students, so they have all the same opportunities that any other student on campus has.
My favorite thing about Syracuse University is I love the new program InclusiveU. It is a lot of fun.
It's fun, it's cool, I want to do more things here.
When our students are on campus, they truly get involved with the campus on all levels. It's not just academics.
It's a really open, good community. There's a lot of things you can do on campus. I've been on campus for 2 years now. It's been a great opportunity.
A lot of different courses students have taken up here, ranging from religion and sociology, psychology, again, to the different sports-related ones.
Well, some of the classes I've taken is 195, which is the Intro to IST, which is a very good class. Networking classes, web design, which was a very good class. Did pretty well in that.
I've had 2 students from InclusiveU that have taken the class. Both were engaged throughout the entire semester in different ways. In a class of over 200, you end up with a lot of students who are afraid or embarrassed. And these guys were just the opposite. It didn't matter to them that there were 200 students in there. They wanted to share their experiences. They wanted to ask questions. And you know what? I think they were doing what a lot of students wish they could do.
The reception here has been really, really positive, and we just opened the door and allowed the students to be who they were.
We're really thrilled at the Tayshoff Center to have InclusiveU be a model program for other universities across the United States, especially looking at ways that universities can implement a fully inclusive model and not have separate and special programs for students with disabilities.
Well, the peer-to-peer program is, in my opinion, the coming together of students both with and without disabilities for everyone to have the same opportunities to experience advantages that college offers.
Our most recent peer-to-peer activity was the High Bropes course up at South Campus. We went with the Department of Recreation Services, and we had about 12 students, matriculated and non-matriculated, doing the high elements. And it was a great opportunity for students to push themselves, stretch themselves, and encourage each other to try new things.
I am coordinating the Project Search program here at Syracuse University. The students for InclusiveU will come to me and they will complete 3 internships on campus. Anything that you would do on your job site that just comes naturally, we work on with the students. Interview skills, dress, transportation to work, communicating with their coworkers. When they leave here, they are professional, they are able to get to work independently, be on time, and find employment in our community much easier than if they did not do a job readiness program. One of the interns, her internship was in the art department at the bookstore.
I'm Larissa. I work here at the university bookstore right here in the Shine Student Center. Basically, they came downstairs and said I was going to get a brand new intern. I just put her to work. Brand new pair of hands for me. My paper part, what a pride thing. Well, I mean, I still have tags on here. Krista. She brought what every kid brings. They bring massive personality and someone brand new to work with.
One of the things I really love about SU is the diversity. You literally have people from all around the world, people of all different ages, and now we've added people of all different ability levels, and all of it comes together to make a much greater whole.
I've seen our students grow and they form a sense of their own identity.
Which has been nice. I mean, to really see someone who is kind of withdrawn and shy to become a person who's more independent and are speaking for themselves, become an advocate, is walking around with a smile and loves being up here and is fitted in and become a part of the community.
And that's a testament to the university as well as the testament to why higher education should be inclusive of all kinds of people who want to learn.
Please hold on.
So that was just an overview video that gave some information about our program. Now I'm going to give you a little bit more information about how things work really, a little bit more in depth. All of our students who come into InclusiveU get an InclusiveU advisor. So everybody comes in and works with an advisor. Our program is intended to be a 4-year program. That being said, just like all other college students, some students finish in less than 4 years and some students take a little bit longer to finish up. But most students use InclusiveU as a 4-year program or experience InclusiveU as a 4-year college program. All of our students participate in academic coursework, but our students are auditing their courses. So they're working towards a university certificate instead of a bachelor's degree. That doesn't mean that they're working on like a special education certificate or that their certificate is an alternative certificate that is just for students in our program. It is a real and meaningful university certificate in your specific area of study. So all of our students work with their university advisor to declare a major, and you are working towards a university certificate in your major area of study. And that is an audit certificate that is a meaningful certificate from the university. If any person at the university audits a specific number of classes in a particular area of study, they can also earn that university certificate. So it's not just for people in this program and it's not just for people with disabilities. It's a meaningful university certificate. But because our students are auditing their classes, we have a little bit more leeway in being able to help students think about the kinds of modifications and accommodations that they need in order to be successful in their coursework. So how do we do that? Because often students have a lot of questions about the academic rigor of a college experience. A lot of times, this is one of the major concerns that students have. They are excited for the college experience, but worried about the academic level of college classes. Well, that's a really great question. Most of our students, when they come in and choose their major, some students know exactly what they want to study. They know that they want to study sports management, or they want to study food studies, or they want to study child and family studies, or they want to study disability studies, or they want to choose from one of the very many majors that Syracuse University has. But some students don't want to know, or they don't know exactly right away. They don't know. So they might want to try a few different things at the beginning, and that's okay too. Lots of freshmen don't know exactly what they want to do when they first get here. But you can work with our advisors and you can select different classes. Most students each semester take 1 or 2 classes that are in their major area of study, and then they take a variety of electives also. Some students take 2 classes per semester. Some students take 3 classes per semester. Some students take 4 classes per semester. It just depends on how much each student feels like they can handle in a semester. And it depends on whether you live on campus or you don't. Most students who live on campus take a higher course load because they have more time that they're here. And students who are commuter students might take less because they might be here fewer days a week. It just depends on what's the right fit for you. And when you work with our university and our InclusiveU and university advisors, they can help you select what might work best for you. Our students take all kinds of classes. You have a really wide range of classes that are available to you. And what we say is that you can look at the university catalog and think about what your interests are, and you have to think about what your major is, but you can also look at a really wide range of classes. You have pretty much the whole course catalog available to you with a few caveats, and that is that you have sort of the same limitations that the whole rest of the campus has. So you can't take an upper level class if there's a prerequisite. So you might, for example, you can't take Spanish 2 if you have to take Spanish 1 first and you haven't. You can't take an upper level class if you have to take a lower level class first and you haven't taken the lower level class yet. You can't take a class that's for specific majors if you're not that major. For example, you can't take an architecture class that's only for architecture majors unless you're an architecture major. So there's certain limitations. You can't take a class that's only for seniors unless you're a senior. And then we also tell everybody that you have to select lots of different classes and have some backup classes too, because just like all other college students, the freshmen don't get first choice often. Seniors usually get first choice, and then juniors, and then sophomores, and then freshmen. So just like all other college students everywhere, you have to have a backup plan for what classes that you want to take. So that's one of the things that we always tell people to think about. But our students take all kinds of really interesting classes, from things like aliens and cyborgs, to the music of Prince, to hip hop yoga, to college learning strategies, to intro to biology. So there's all kinds of things here for you. And we have, it's a really wide range of courses to choose from. But people are often concerned, how will I be able to keep up with the coursework? Well, here's what we do. All of our students work with mentors. You can have your own mentor some students bring mentors with them from home or from an outside agency, or you can work with us to have a student from Syracuse University be your mentor, and we can help hire a mentor for you who will work with you when you're here on campus. And mentors can go to class with you, and they can help support you in your classes. So a mentor can help you take notes. A mentor can help you participate in class, can help you work with a group, can help you work on your projects, can help you with your homework. A mentor can help you communicate with your professors, help you organize your work. Mentors can help do lots of different things in your classes and outside of your classes. Mentors can also help you navigate the campus. Lots of times our mentors can also help in dining halls, help in clubs and organizations, and support you in lots of different kinds of ways on the college campus. Another thing that we do is we work with students at the beginning of every semester and really throughout the semester to think about the kinds of accommodations and modifications that you need to be successful in class. So when the professor at the beginning of the semester says, here's all of the things that you're going to need to do this semester for this class, then we have what we call the syllabus modification. And we sit down and with the students sit down with their mentor, and they take a look at all of the requirements for that class. And then you sort of make a proposal, and you work with your mentor and your advisor to say, okay, well, I know that this is maybe a little bit, maybe writing a 5-page paper is something that you're not really great at. But one of the things that you could do instead is do a 5-slide PowerPoint, because maybe that's something you are really good at. And so we just propose right on the form that that's something that you'll do instead of that. Or maybe this reading is really long. And so instead of these readings, we'll cut that down and you'll just do these parts of the readings, or we'll select the most important pieces. And then we put that all together. We circle what we think is going to be most important, or we write a little proposal for what we think will be helpful. We put it right on the form. We sort of negotiate that with the professor. You say to the professor, here's what I'm thinking that I would like to do for this class. And the professor agrees or makes some decisions about that with you. They sign off, you sign off, we sign off, and then we can continue to develop that throughout the semester. So that's one of the ways that we help to think about how you can participate best in the class. Some students decide that they want to participate in every single part of every single class that they sign up for because that's right for them. Some students decide that they only want to participate in some parts of the classes that they sign up for because that's what's right for them. Some students go to classes and just listen and then only participate in a few things because that's what's right for them. We kind of have some ability to make decisions about what might be best for each student, and that's okay. We also have what I have listed here as enhanced instruction, and that's really what we're calling our seminars. We have seminars every week. We have pretty much at least one seminar every day, and those are completely optional. Those are kind of just extra sessions that students have asked us for that they want information about. We have seminars on, I do one on self-representation where students like take pictures and videos, and we talk about different ways to take pictures and videos and represent yourself. We have some on social media. We have some on positive choices. We have some on financial literacy. We have some on creativity in college. We have one on Freshman Forum, which is about kind of navigating the campus and learning about how to be at college. We have one on positive choices, which is about sexual health and other materials and making and relationship choices. We have we've had lots of different kinds of seminars over the years, and most of those are by student request. So those are optional, and you can sign up for different ones every semester if you want to, or you can sign up for none at all, or you can sign up for several. I talked a little bit about the supports in terms of what the mentors do. I know that Sam is going to talk about our residential mentors when he gets to the page about our inclusive housing. And we'll talk a little bit more about that piece in a second. But we do have some pretty robust supports in terms of our mentors. And we also have our peer-to-peer supports. And I'm going to talk about that now. We offer our peer-to-peer programming, which I think is really important, and it really enhances our students' robust social lives here on the campus. One of the things that we really noticed early on is that many of our students wanted to be involved socially, but that can be a tricky thing on a big campus. It's sort of figuring out when there are so many interesting social things to do, kind of how to pick and how to get involved. And lots of times you don't, even though there are lots of neat and interesting things to do, it's kind of hard to think like, should I go to this? Do I want to go to this thing by myself? How do I get involved? And our peer-to-peer program was a way to kind of give students an entryway to that. So we do a few things. The first is that we have a peer match program. Students can sign up, and we have lots of student volunteers. So students can have a peer partner that they can meet with every week, and you can just meet at various times to go to lunch with somebody, or maybe to go to the gym with somebody, or maybe just go hang out on the quad with someone, or just figure out a time when you guys want to get together and do something interesting. And that's a really nice time to do it. Just maybe an hour a week or something to meet a new friend. So we have that peer match, and we usually pair everybody up for a semester long pairing. Then we also have students who are our peer trainers. And every semester we have some typically matriculated Syracuse University students and some InclusiveU students who are peer trainers. And this group of students are kind of in charge of looking at the social calendar of the university and pulling out things that might be really interesting or fun to do. And then they send out a newsletter every week of all of the cool and interesting social events to the InclusiveU listserv. And then they also give you a way to get involved. So they say, hey, a group of us are going to go to the basketball game on Saturday night. If you want to go, meet in front of the dome at 6:30. Or a group of us are going to go ice skating on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. If you want to go, text Andrew. Or a group of us are going to the movies on Tuesday night. If anybody wants to go, send a message to Ellie. And so there's always kind of a way to get involved, and there's something going on every day. There's a way to like really fill your social calendar, a way to make sure that you're busy, a way to make sure that you're having fun, and you can be involved in things all the time or not at all. Those are things that if you are somebody who really wants to be involved and having fun and out with friends all the time, that's a great way to do it. But you also don't have to. If you're somebody who doesn't want to do those things, that's okay too. And there are also over 300 different clubs and student activities. And we have many students in InclusiveU who get involved in lots of them. We have students who have been in the belly dancing club, in Autothon, in the student association. We have students who have been remembrance scholars. We have students who have been involved in so many different clubs and activities and organizations. And not only that, but our students are now taking on leadership roles in many of those clubs and organizations. So it's a really exciting time at the university, and it's an exciting time for InclusiveU. I'm going to leave the next two bullets, the internships and the inclusive housing option, because we have separate slides on both of those, I think. Okay, here's internships. I'm going to send internships over to our internship and employment coordinator, Brianna Schultz.
Hi. So our internship year is typically done in the final year of InclusiveU. This is the most intensive part of the internships. This is involving 2 semester-long internships where the student works 20 hours a week on campus in an internship that's related to their major and the certificate that they will be graduating with. We have some additional internship options that can start as early as freshman year, where students can slowly add hours and gain experience to work up to this 20-hour per week internship. But coupled with the work experience, what we also do is an hour-long class every day prior to the student going out onto their internship site, touching on employment curriculum that really covers everything from communication with coworkers to interview skills to anything else that a student would really need to know when they're going to work in their communities. Our students have support while they're on their internship sites through the site supervisors and coworkers, but additionally through mentors that they might bring with them through hiring themselves, or they can also access job coaching through Access VR or vocational rehab. And we really focus on transferable job skills. So where a student may not be in a job that they think is directly related to their future career, we're always looking at the skills that they're gaining to match those skills with their career goal or their outcome. Additionally, with the internship year, students have access to our business engagement group, who also mentor and advocate for all of our students and our interns especially. This is a group made up of local businesses and local employers in our area that really have an interest in helping our students find employment and just network and find connections within our community. We also have access to about 35 internship sites on campus. So we really work with the student to find what they really want to do and match them with the appropriate site. So we're really individualizing what we do for our students in this internship year. You're on mute, Beth.
Thank you, Bree.
You're welcome.
Okay. And Sam, you want to talk about housing?
Hello, hello, hello. Yes, let's talk about housing. So we do have housing opportunities for individuals who are interested in living in the residence halls. We don't have any separate residence halls for InclusiveU students. InclusiveU students, as the name suggests, live in fully inclusive residence halls throughout campus. This year, due to COVID, we did have all of our students in one residence hall, but typically our students are in multiple residence halls all throughout campus. Our students have, full access to all the campus activities. Most of our students who are living on campus are really living there 24/7, and that allows them to have access to all these different really cool events, some that happen, as late as 10, 11, midnight at night. And it's a really great opportunity for the students to get even more engaged in campus than you would be if you were just a commuting student. So the way that we work our placements out for InclusiveU students, one of the ways that we do that is we try to identify learning communities that the students might be interested in living in. So throughout campus, there are different floors in residence halls that might be all students who are interested in the same thing. So there's one learning community that's all about students who are into like the outdoors, like hiking or whitewater rafting or things like that. And they go on events like throughout the semester specifically geared towards that. There's a learning community for future educators. There's a learning community for students who want to live in a drug-free environment. There's a learning community for students who identify in a certain way, ethnically or racially. There's lots of really awesome opportunities for students to get involved that way. If you're not interested in living in a specific learning community and you just want to live somewhere else on campus, that's great too. Regardless of where you want to live, what we're going to try to do is hook you up with what's called a residential mentor. And that residential mentor is a full-time SU student who I personally recruit, because I think they're awesome people, to either be your direct roommate or someone who lives down the hall from you. Typically for our freshmen, we recommend that they have a residential mentor live in the same room as them, because college is this huge transition, and what better than to have a roommate with someone who's been around the block, who's been here for at least a year, and who can really be that person who helps you get transitioned into college life. So this person is there for you to help you navigate campus, to help you learn where and how to do your laundry on campus, show you where all the best residence halls are, and ultimately get you involved socially and help you grow in your independent skills. So hopefully in year 2, 3, and 4 at InclusiveU, you're able to go off and do your own and feel confident that you have all the skills you need to be successful. That's it. That's my spiel. Muted again.
It's a good spiel, Sam. I know I unmuted and then I muted myself accidentally. It's a good spiel, Sam. You do it well. All right, so what does a day look like for an InclusiveU student? Well, it could be different for everyone. It could be different every day. You might meet with a peer partner for breakfast or coffee, maybe work out at the gym with your peer partner, then maybe meet your mentor and go to class, then maybe study and do some homework, then maybe go to lunch at Varsity. Varsity is our awesome pizza place on campus that everybody loves, it's super famous, with your friends, then maybe go to a seminar, then you might go to the library or use the computer lab, and then maybe go participate in a club or an organization. Lots of those things are kind of in the late afternoon. And then maybe go to dinner with your friends, and then maybe at night go to an Orange After Dark activity. Orange After Dark is like these activities that happen at night. Sometimes they happen, this is what Sam was talking about, sometimes the Orange After Dark activities happen really late. Sometimes there's like things that happen at 7 p.m., you know, maybe on a weeknight where people do like crafting in your pajamas. But sometimes Orange After Dark activities happen on the weekends where people go to like the trampoline park at 2 o'clock in the morning. It is kind of wild and crazy.
One thing, just as a quick note here, Beth, you could still have this exact same day in the life in our current COVID life, right? Like, yeah, things might look slightly different, but I still see the students who are living here this semester able to do exactly what's on this sheet. So while things might be a little different on campus, we're really trying to do everything we can to ensure students still have all the opportunities and all the ways to interact with other students that they had in years prior.
They're just doing a lot of these things while wearing a mask and 6 feet apart. And some of them are outside. Okay, so we have some different paths to InclusiveU. And these might be important for you to know about. A lot of our students come in different ways. And we have lots of different ways to get here so that we try to make this as accessible as possible for lots of different students. Some students come in through our on-campus program. This is only for students who live in the Syracuse City School District. We save a certain number of spots for students who are part of the Syracuse City School District. So if you're here in this info session right now and you're part of the Syracuse City School District, you can apply directly through the school district as part of the on-campus program. We do save a certain number of spots for them. We also have a certain number of spots that are through what we call the Access Program, and that's through one of our community partners, Onondaga Community Living. That is through a traditional community hub program, and we have a few spots that we do through that community program. However, most of our students, we have currently about 90 students, and right now 11 of them are through on campus, 7 of them are through Access, and the rest come in through one of these other ways. And that is, all the rest come in through just sort of our regular path. And our regular path, you can kind of come in, and then these are kind of through a sort of different payment methods. And we can help you think about all of the different ways that you can fund your InclusiveU experience. Certainly private pay is one option. We have several students who are private pay students. Also, students can use a dependent tuition benefit. So if you have a parent who or guardian who is an employee or Syracuse University, you can use a dependent tuition benefit to help pay for the InclusiveU program, just like all other students at Syracuse University. Also, many students who live in New York State can use their self-direction budgets if they are on the Medicaid waiver to help pay for the program. So there are different ways that you can do that. If you have a self-direction budget, We have instructions on our website about ways that you can use your self-direction budget to help pay for the program. We've tried to make this really clear. And for the first time really ever this year, we have some students who are from out of state who are using Medicaid waiver dollars from other states in fairly limited ways, but in some ways are able to offset some portions of their costs. Not all of it and not everyone, but in theory, it should be able to happen. And this is the first time we've ever been successful in doing it just for a portion of it. So just so you know that that could possibly work if you are considering that from another state. Okay, Sam, were you going to talk about the application process?
I would be happy to.
Or do you want me to talk about the application process and then you were going to talk about the application form?
Either way.
Okay, why don't I talk about this, and then I think we had another slide about the actual application, right?
I was going to share the our page.
You were going to share it. Okay, I forgot what the plan was, everyone. All right, I'm on it. Here I am. Okay, talking about applying to InclusiveU. So you might be wondering, how do I apply? Well, here's the answer. We have slightly different criteria. It's not the same as applying to all other colleges, right? We are not really that concerned about what your grades were like in high school. We don't care about the SAT scores or anything like that. We don't really care about those things. Those things are not important to us. We already know that you might have other barriers to going to college, and we don't want you to have more barriers. What we care about is, why do you want to go to college? What do you think you're going to get out of college? What is important to you about going to college? Those are the things that are actually the most important to us. And so that's what we want to try to find out from you on your college application. And so we kind of ask some important questions on the college application. And then once we get your application, we'll read through it. We'll look at the questions that we've asked, and then we'll schedule an interview. Most of our interviews are done via Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or some other way. And we'll have an interview with you and someone from our team. And so we'll try to talk to you about, what you're hoping to get out of college, what your interests are, and our admissions committee will look over all of the information and then try to think about whether or not we think that you will be a good fit at Syracuse University. Our goal is to try to figure out whether or not we think that you'll be a good fit here and whether we think you'll be successful. That's what we're trying to get out of our application process. Now, we can take some questions about that, but I'm going to have Bree share what the application looks like first. We have a slightly new process here.
Alrighty. So prior to this point, we had our own paper application that you print out and fill out and mail back to us. But we're trying to be 21st century here, people. So we finally upped our game and we've got a fully online application now. So if you go to our website, and Bree, can you scroll to the top real quick? And you click admissions, you'll see right here a section called application. You'll click on the application and then you'll see big letters, apply to InclusiveU. From there, you click on that and you'll go to this general application screen. In order to apply to InclusiveU, you've got to make your own, basically student account. So before you even go into the apply section, you're going to click create your account. And you're going to make an account. This can be a personal username or a personal email for you, whatever you'd like. You'll make the password that you want to make. So make sure if If you've got family or someone else helping you out at home with doing this application, make sure it's a password that they also know too, so they can help you with this stuff. You're gonna put in some brief personal information about you, just last name, first name, date of birth. You'll read their little terms of service. You probably won't. You'll probably just click I agree. Trust me, they're not gonna do anything funky with this stuff. And then you'll click create an account at the bottom. After you do that, you'll then be able to, it'll bring you back to the main page, and you'll be able to click online application. And from there, you can actually start the process of applying. They'll ask you to log in, and you'll be all set, and you can continue the application there. The nice thing about this format is at any point in time, you can save and quit it. So you can, open this thing up and work on it for 15 minutes at a time. As long as you get it done by January 15th, you're good to go. I think Beth mentioned this, but our application due date for this year will be January 15th, 2021.
Okay. Thank you for that overview, Sam. So this is a little bit different. We used to have a paper copy that people would mail in. This is a little bit different. We also have some additional requirements where you have to send in some forms to us and 2 letters of recommendation. So all of that is really helpful. Make sure you get all of your info into us. All right, I think we have one more video to show. Oh, sorry. I think I clicked on something. Oh no, I didn't click anything that time. That was you.
My name is Aaron Dyer. I am basketball manager for the team. That is my story. Work hard in my life, study, math, science, and workouts. Looking good, Harry, looking good. Study all about science and science. It's my big year. One more I can be done at school. Hey.
Are you famous?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I knew you were famous.
Yeah. Let's go, guys. And now I go move out man in the house. What's up, buddy? Not much. Hey, buddy. Yeah, it's a good one. I love my life. Like my manager, we're going to do the water towels, water one-on-one and play the games. And tonight they got big games and we can play without. People love buses like Syracuse, Crazy Flames. They can go out, enjoy their life, go to football games, Syracuse, basketball, go play bus center, go play basketball. Syracuse is friends in their trips. Yeah, woo! My name is Harry Dyer. I am the famous guy, Syracuse is my life. That is my life.
We love Harry. Okay, we love all of our students. So I think we have a few more minutes to open it up for some questions. Team, did I cover everything? Is there anything I forgot?
You hit it all.
Okay. All right. So now I can open up for some questions. What kind of questions does everybody have? You can put your questions in the chat, or you can press the raise hand button that's in reactions, or you can just go ahead and indicate that you have a question in some other way, and I'm happy to take your question. Andrew's iPad, it looks like you have a question. Do you want to ask your question?
Yes. I think Harry he was a good SU basketball player and
a good student
and anything a good student.
Yeah.
And you want to go to SU too?
And I'm going to the SU too because my career and future job is to be the Syracuse football player in 2021.
You would like to be involved with football?
Yes.
Yeah, that's your favorite sport?
Yes. Yeah, football is my favorite sport.
That's awesome. That's awesome. A lot of students really like going to the football games here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Thanks, Andrew.
And a lot of friends.
Yeah. Okay, Kylie asked a question. Kylie wants to know what happened to Sam's hair. Kylie, that is an awesome question. Sam, what happened to your hair?
What happened to it? It just kept growing. I couldn't do anything about it. I don't know. It's got a mind of its own.
How about in that first video from several years ago, Kylie? We just had to refilm the video because Sam looked too babyish in it. It's like he didn't even have his beard then.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look. I think Kylie likes the short hair more. I don't know. I might have to change my whole life's plan here.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, from Larry and Colleen Stout, they say, how many students are at Syracuse University all together? Oh, good question. What is the answer? I think there's 15,000 undergrads and over 25,000 when you add in all the graduate students. So, gosh, I'm not sure that you can quote me on those exact numbers, but I think it's something around 25,000 students total on the campus. Okay. Megan Colasanti, do you guys have any classes that involve with sign language? Yes, there are several sign language classes and our students have taken sign language classes, or computers. Yes, plenty of computer classes. And our students have taken lots of different kinds of computer classes. There's everything from like computer programming to graphic design to all kinds of other computer classes. Just depends on what kinds of things you would be interested in. Okay.
I saw that Nicole had her hand up.
Nicole, do you have a question?
Do you have the art class?
Art class? Yeah, all kinds of art classes. Our students, I know that one of our students right now is taking a painting class that's like right next door to me. But also students every semester like to often take like pottery, ceramics, painting, design. What other art classes do our students take? There's tons of them. Yeah, lots of different art classes that our students take also. Thank you. Great question. Have any InclusiveU students studied abroad? Wow, great question. We are actually working on a study abroad partnership with our Italy program right now. We were supposed to have launched that this year and it got put on hold because of COVID.
Good to be. Yes.
It got put on hold because of COVID. So it's possible that that might get launched next year. We'll see. But no, we have not had any students, no InclusiveU students have studied abroad yet. It's in the works and it's very promising, I would say. Do you have a checklist of goals potential students should have before applying? No, we don't, because we have students who come in with at all different levels, and you know, we have students who come in with all kinds of different academic abilities. But I do think that particularly for students who are living in the residence halls, maybe they might need to think about different kinds of, what kinds of supports they might need to be successful. And so that might be something to think about in terms of what kinds of supports they might need. But we do accept students who come in at all different kinds of levels. And do you have any graphic design classes? Yes. Where can we find the university course catalog? It is on the university website, and
we put the link.
It's in there. I was just going to say, can somebody drop it into the chat? You're already ahead of me. Thank you. You're the best. What would a typical workload of classes look like for InclusiveU students? I wouldn't even say that there's a typical workload. Some students take 2 classes per semester. I think we have one student who's taking 5. But it really just depends on what a student wants to do and what they think that, and what, you know, we work with students and their families to help figure out what a student feels like they can handle and what would be best for them. So it really varies from student to student. And it depends on how packed a student wants their own day to be. Some students like to be very, very busy. Some students know that they need a lot of break time in their day. Some students want their day to be packed from 8 a.m. until they go to bed at night. And they pack that schedule full of classes and activities and social events and clubs and organizations and going to the gym and meeting with a mentor and all kinds of things. And some students know that that would not be a good schedule for them. So they only have 1 class a day and lots of downtime and lots of study time or lots of break time or lots of something else. And it really just depends from student to student. Kylie, I was dressed Sam for Wacky Wednesday. Thanks for Facebook. Oh my gosh, you're cracking me up. Are all the supports self-hired? No, they're not. Some supports are self-hired, and but you can also hire supports through us. Lots of students just, there's lots of different options for that. So you can either do agency supported. If you're in New York State, you can do agency supported, and we have an agency that's actually right here in our office, and they will hire for you. Another option is that you can just tack it right onto your bursar bill, right onto your tuition, and we will hire for you. And then there are options where you can get like up to 20 hours per week or up to 40 hours per week, and we just tack that right onto your tuition, and we do it with our staffing model. So there's a couple of different options of ways you can do that, or you can do it through your Medicaid waiver, and you can do it right through the agency that's here, or you can do it self-hire. So there's lots of different ways that you can do that. Are there opportunities to perform? Yes, we have singing, acting, dance, playing instruments, absolutely. We have students who do all of those things. We have a student who is in the belly dancing troupe. We have students who are in acting groups here. We have a student who is a fabulous, fabulous singer, and she is in the student ensemble and the chorus and performs at a very high level here. We have students who just perform in silly karaoke events because they're just amateur singers. We have students who perform at all ranges. So also lots of students take instrument lessons here. It depends on what your level is and what your interest is. But yes. What does orientation look like for freshman year? Do InclusiveU students come earlier? All of the freshmen come a few days early for orientation. Our InclusiveU students participate in the freshman orientation, and we combine with the freshman orientation, but we have some portions of that that are just for InclusiveU students and some portions where they are included with everybody else. So we do some sort of like specialized InclusiveU sessions and some sessions with everyone so that they get some sessions where they get some specialized support. Corinne has a question for Sam.
Hi, Sam. Stay close, stay close.
Hey.
Is it possible for me to do what Harry did, because like he gets to see Buddy Boeheim?
I can't guarantee that, but we can certainly try. Harry has a way with people, you know. One of the most charming dudes I've ever met in my life. He's gotten to a lot of really cool places because of that.
Yeah, Harry and I are friends on TikTok.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe Harry could introduce you to Buddy Boeheim.
Yeah. Smart idea.
That might work for you. Okay, let's see. Typically, does in-state Medicaid waiver cover all costs? I would say almost all costs, except for if you're living in the dorms, then it covers all costs except for, it only covers part of your meal plan and part of the dorm fee, and it covers part of your residential mentor cost. And depending on how much support you need, it could cover all of it or it could cover most of it. But it does cover all tuition and fees.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that depends on your budget.
Yeah, just to clarify a few things, you know, if you're coming in via self-direction, you're almost positively going to be able to get all those things covered, but it's just important to look at your budget and see where you know, how much you have in terms of the budget and where you can place those fees. But traditionally through a budget, you can get the transition program fee covered. You can get the courses, the tuition covered, and you can get, sorry, you can get your staff covered, your ComHab staff, if you're going to either self-hire or utilize the direct provider purchase from the government center. In terms of room and meal plan, depending on what kind of room you're in, whether you're in a double or a single, depending on those kinds of things will determine how much Medicaid will contribute towards reimbursing you for room costs. And a similar thing goes with meal plan. It's a sliding scale depending on what meal plan you pick. So just wanted to give clarification on those couple.
Yeah. And Dwayne, this is a great question. Yes, students are eligible for federal financial aid and grants because we are a comprehensive transition program. And so our InclusiveU students do qualify for federal financial aid. So everyone, even if you think you don't qualify, you should fill out the FAFSA when you apply. It does not hurt to fill that out. It could help. So fill out the FAFSA and see what you can get.
And work study. Our students are eligible for work study. And that's also through the FAFSA.
Yeah, great. Okay, it looks like we are just about out of time. So we hope to get your application. We can't wait to hear more from you. We can't wait to meet you if we haven't already. Thanks so much for joining us today. And we would love to hear from you in the future. Thanks again. Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye.